verses, what I realized is each verse was like a stroke of a paintbrush that was painting this masterwork of art. Now I see the work of art as a whole thing. And so now I talk about the work of art. And in the midst of talking about the work of art, yes, I'll quote many, many verses without ever stopping and actually quoting the verse. Right? But just in like 5 minutes, I'll talk about more verses than you can read in 5 minutes.
But you're just describing the brushstrokes.
Right. I'm talking about what the brushstrokes look like. Right. And this is all in the Bible. Jesus said, "Abide in me, for the branch cannot bring forth fruit of its own." And see, then we pervert that verse and say the new commandment is to love. That's not the new commandment. The new commandment is to abide in Jesus.
Right.
How can the new commandment be to love if Jesus said we're a branch and we can't do anything on our own? The new commandment is to abide in me. So then he says, in order that you can find love manifesting in you. Right?
Yeah.
The new commandment is abide in Jesus.
Right.
So that you can find yourself able to love others.
Right.
You can't love on your own. And if you think you can, man, then you got a little while longer where you're going to labor and toil trying to do it. Eventually you realize the branch can't bring forth fruit of itself.
You can't love right.
And I think I said that example, maybe in the Bible study. It's like I don't walk out into the yard and, after a storm comes and there's a branch laying on the ground there, I don't walk over to the branch and tell the branch, "Listen, branch, bring forth some fruit." I'm not busy thinking the branch is going to plant itself in the ground, it's going to root itself in the ground, and then it's going to grow up strong, and it's going to produce itself with fruit. That's how we view our relationship with God, though. We think God come and command us to bring forth fruit. How are we going to do that if we're the branch? What God's done is He's come and promised to make us fruitful.
Right.
Right? I promise you, I'll make you fruitful. Just rest in my work.
Right.
Enter into my rest. Adam didn't enter into God's rest. That's why the author of Hebrews says there remains a rest for the people of God to enter into. Right? That rest is where you cease from your own works to be fruitful, and you see God's performed a work to make you fruitful, and then you begin looking at His work. It's like we've been busy in the garden trying to bring forth fruit, and every so often we step back and we think nothing's there yet. And God says, "Listen, man, I've come and I've created a garden right here, right next to yours. It's already full of fruit. How about you just look at my garden?" And we're busy trying to,
That's right. No thanks. I'd rather do this.
It's like if there's
I worked too hard on mine.
That's right. I got too much invested
That's
here.
right.
I think it was Bernie that used this example. If there was like a $1 billion in a bank account across the Atlantic, and if you could swim over there and make it over there, you could claim the $1 billion for yourself, right? It's like we're all at the beach trying to jump into the water to swim overseas to get to the bank to get the $1 billion. Meanwhile, Jesus is standing on the beach while we're getting in the water holding them out, trying to give it to us. We're busy trying to cross the Atlantic. He's like, "Here I am, man. I've already swam across.
Yeah.
I've already gotten it. Here it is. Do you want it?"
Right.
That's right.